Hello, this is Cotton Soups, and today's HTUC video is on Charonyx. Unlike this low quality gift, Charonyx seems to be very promising in today's metagame, so why not talk about it? In today's video, we're going to be talking about Charonyx. From the counters and checks and teammates you'll need to know in order to use it in the battles, as well as knowing the basic stuff as with the roles, the sets, and the offensive coverage in order to use any type of Charonyx. Today's video is all about how to use and counter Charonyx. The role that Charonyx plays is an essential question to ask, and we can answer it with its base stats. Its base stats are really simple, with its HP being at 56, melee attack being at 48, and speed being at 51, all of these being its subpar stats. Its melee attack isn't really that important, but its speed stat is pretty slow. It is only a little slower than Setamar's, so that'll give you an idea of how slow it is. And I'm pretty sure it's also around the speed of a Kratel, so there you go. And its HP stat of 56 is very low. It is on par with loomians like Deldrix, Wendelin, and Gavdemic, all fully evolved loomians who are known to be very frail. However, it does have a decent melee defense of 96. This will hopefully boost its defenses up whenever it can. And of course, the best stats it has, its energy with 101 being very good, as well as its range attack of 122. This is a bit higher than Namari's and a bit lower than Valkyrie's, but this is still a pretty strong range attack stat, and the range defense of 106. This will definitely help that HP stat. And so the role that Charonyx plays, it's going to be a Loomian that can hit very hard, and it does have that wall-breaking prowess that lots of Loomians do not have. It also has great potential and setup because it does have the defenses to do so. It does have a pretty bad base speed stat, so it appreciates baffle users. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Charonyx's offensive coverage. Charonyx's offensive typing is Spirit and Light, and it can hit 5 types super effective with Dark, Ancient, Spirit, Brawler, and Mind. Do note that Dark types are neutral to you, so you don't have to worry about your weakness to do that. And same thing with Spirit. And Spirit types, you of course are immune to that. Brawler types, you're immune to that as well. And Mind types, you already resist that, I'm pretty sure, so that's pretty helpful. And for resisting stuff, basically types that can resist one of your coverages is Dark and Ancient yet again, Light types, and Mind types. One thing to keep in mind with Charonyx is that Light types pretty much destroy you. You cannot hit those Light types with any super effective hits, unless you want to run Sleet Shot to hit super effectively the Namaris of the team, so it's not really worth it, and just watch out for the Light types. So, the Charonyx wall-breaking set will run the ability Radiant or Reaper. The reason why we're running Radiant is because it is projected, or Jamie has said, that Charonyx will be getting a fog setting ability, and it will be replacing Radiant, or Radiance, I think. So this will be good for you. Reaper can be your second choice if you really want to use a secret ability. Honestly, Fog is just better because you need to actually destroy stuff in order to use Reaper. However, Reaper is just fine. Its personality will be very smart, frail, sluggish. Even though our defenses are still pretty okay, our HP stat is still holding down our bulk. Very smart is to increase our damage as much as possible so we can compete with the Loomians like Valkyrie, and frail is to decrease the stat we're not using. The moveset of choice that I will be running is Lightspeed Ray, so we can outspeed a bunch of Loomians. If you want to run speedier Charonyx, then you can run Nimble to outspeed your souls that will try and not Shadow Sprint, but whatever. Not really. There's no point in running speed sets, so being bulky with Lightspeed Ray is obviously pretty nice. Magnify is to boost our damage, which will be really good with our Lightspeed Ray, letting us go first pretty much every single time, except for a priority move user in front of us that is faster than us. And Apparition and Nova Blast will be our main 2 moves. Once we can actually set up Fog, Apparition will be really good. However, because it's not really the way it is right now, you can run Spectral Burst. Health Amulet will be our item of choice. If someone else is occupying it, then obviously a Light or Spirit Essence will be great for this. You can try running a Shell or a Pearl, but Essences, especially for a wall breaker like you, is great because of consistency. And the TP's 200 HP in Rage Attack is to max out our stats that we're going to be using a lot. This will help mitigate our low HP stat. 20 energy will let us use 4 apparitions, I think, and Nova Blasts as well, and 2 magnifies. 32 speed outspeeds 0 speed sluggish Cinemars, and a 48 melee defense are leftovers. So with that out of the way, let's talk about its counters and checks and teammates. So the offensive counters and checks for Charonyx is very simple, as you just want to run light types and ancient types, or Loomians who can abuse those moves. Halvantic is a great Loomian to abuse, since it will also have Primal Slash and other useful coverage moves. Valkyrie walls it really well, so does Eclipse, Nemare. There are very good options for it, both defensively and offensively. Zulong, Ikazune, Dorogo, and Volkaloa are all Loomians who can outspeed it and hit it super effectively. And at the end of the day, just run Loomians who can hit it super effectively. And finally, defensive counters and checks. You basically want to run any light type in general. Basically, Eligwana, Luminami, Nemare, Celesting, and Stratosaur, which is not a light type but hits it for metal. That's fine. These are all really good answers for Charonyx. And finally, defensive teammates. You want to run Baffle users like Luminami. Not Baffle, it doesn't Baffle, it has Flash and Flee. Baffle users like Icicle and Yursnack, or pivots in general. Tatab, Doldrix, Yoursoul, and Vesperatu will be very great, as you can take out the light types and metal types that can help that can wall Charonyx, or at least defensively check it. So with that out of the way, let's talk about conclusion and my thoughts on Charonyx. So Charonyx seems to be very good. I did mess up in the offensive counters in section. Light types don't really help you with Charonyx at all. They're pretty good as defensive answers, and pretty much any light type can abuse Charonyx. But just know it can't hit it super effectively. Same goes for ancient types. So metal types offensively is your best way of dealing with it. So Loomians like Protogon, Stratosaur, Diborg, Oxydrake, Irex, they're all pretty good against Charonyx. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're into more of these kind of videos. Charonyx is very good, and I cannot wait to test it out in the Battle Coliseum. I personally think it probably won't be making a big impact until it gets the fog setting ability. So yeah. And with that out of the way, remember, I will be signing off to remind you that Zulong is still a dumpster fire.